So hi guys, this is Raj. Hope you all are doing good during this lockdown. Okay, today I'm here to give you the information on Windows freezing or rebooting, which of course due to hardware problems. Okay, so all of us, many of us might be facing the issue with the Windows. Sometimes it gets freezing, or sometimes even it gets rebooting. Okay, so the reason might be because of some hardware problems or because of some software problems. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain you about the hardware problems. Okay, the hardware that which causes your Windows to get freezing or rebooting. Oh, when we are doing some important work, all of a sudden the PC starts rebooting or freezing. Oh, and then we would be unable to do anything on the screen, right? We cannot open a file or even we cannot close the file or program that is running currently on the screen, and this would be annoying. Okay, and this happens either with the software specific problem or because of the hardware specific problem. And now here I'm going to discuss you the hardware that which causes this Windows freezing or rebooting problems. Okay, let's enter into the slide. Okay, the reasons. Okay, the reasons that which might cause the Windows to get freeze or rebooting. Okay, frequently. So here, as I have told you previously, okay, the reasons might be the hardware specific problem or a software specific problem. Okay, at first we need to find out. Okay, at first we need to find out whether the system gets rebooting and freezing it's because of a hardware issue, or if not, it's because of a software issue. Okay, once we found that whether it's maybe of a hardware issue or software issue, then it would be easy for us to troubleshoot. Okay, here we're gonna learn only about the hardware issue. Okay, the hardware that which causes the system to get freezing or rebooting. So this PPT covers computer reboots and freezes which may be caused due to your hardware and offer possible troubleshooting steps. Okay, here not only we're gonna learn what the hardware that causes your Windows to get freeze or rebooting. Okay, we're gonna learn the troubleshooting steps. So okay, what are the troubleshooting steps we can take to overcome those issues? Okay, so what are the steps that we can do to overcome the Windows freezing or rebooting issue? Okay, so these are all the hardware. Okay, so these are all the hardware that causes your Windows to get freeze or reboot. Okay, see, it's hard drive overheat, BIOS, power supply, graphic card, external devices. Any one of these may be the problem that causes your Windows to get freezing or rebooting. Okay, at first we need to find out whether it's because of a hard drive or if it's because of a overheat or if it's because of a BIOS, or if not the power supply, if not the graphic card, if not the external device. We need to find out which hardware is causing the issue. We need to find out which hardware is causing the issue, and we need to do the we need to do the troubleshooting steps. Okay, we need to do the troubleshooting steps to overcome the issue. Okay, now let's enter into the hard drive. Okay, we all know that okay, hardware plays a crucial role in the desktop or PC, right? So we need to test the hard drive condition. Okay, we need to test the hard drive condition, and we need to find out the manufacturer of the hard drive. Okay, so once we find the manufacturer of the hard drive, it makes us easy to troubleshoot. Okay, so the manufacturer, once we enter into the manufacturer website, we can find out the diagnostic tools. So with those diagnostic tools, we can run the troubleshooting steps, or we can diagnose our hard drive, and we can find whether there are errors going on in the hard drive. We can find the health condition of the hard drive. Okay, so as the hard drive plays a crucial role in running of your PC or desktop. Okay, it's very important to check the health of the hard drive regularly on time to time basis, right? So you might not be facing the issue with the hard drive if you go on checking the health condition of the hard drive regularly on a regular basis. You will not be facing the issue with the hard drive, right? So if you find that you're facing an issue with the hard drive, then immediately you need to start backing up your data. Okay, so if you find out that there is a problem with your hard drive, but you did not back up your data, okay, so you might lose all your data, right? We will be having some important files, important programs, important pictures, or important videos, important your office work. Okay, so what it might be, okay, whatever it might be, but you will be losing all the data. Okay, so if you lose all the data, it will be not good, right? It will stop your work, it will stop everything. So it's better to back up the data once you find that there are issue going on with the hard drive. Okay, see, here we can see that we have to test the hard drive condition. Okay, we need to check out the condition of our hard drive, and we need to find out the manufacturer of our hard drive. Okay, so once we find out the manufacturer of the hard drive, as I told you previously, we can find out the diagnostic tools. Okay, and look at the last point. Okay, then we need to run the chk dsk to see if that corrects the problem. If not, then if it is covered by warranty, send for the return. Okay, at first we need to find out the condition of our hard drive, and we need to check with the manufacturer whether they have provided any diagnostic tools or not. So okay, if there are any diagnostic tools, we can go with the diagnostics tools, and you can try to solve it by your end. Okay, so that is the one thing. And the other thing is that you need to run the chkdsk. Chkdsk is nothing but the short form of the check disk. Okay, you need to run the check disk on your hard drive. Oh, okay, in the coming slides, we're going to see what is meant by CHKDSK, and okay, and how we will do the check days, and what we need to do the check days. Okay, what are the advantages that we have with the check days? We're not going to learn it in the next slide. And see here. Okay, check hard disk for errors, health, bad sectors in Windows 10. Okay, we need to check the errors, health, and bad sectors. What all the things that going in the hard disk. See, it's important that you keep a watch on your hard disk health. So hard disk plays a crucial role, right? So we need to keep on checking the health of the hard disk in hard disk. So from time to time, it's a good practice, right? If we keep on checking the health of our hard disk from time to time, then we might not be facing the issue with the hard drive. Okay, and all our data will be safe, our computer will be running in a good condition, and our work will be going good. No interruption will be there. Okay, the hard disk is the only component with moving parts, spinning at a speed up to 7,200 revolutions per minute. We all know that hard disk is a moving part, right? It rotates with a speed of around 7,200 revolutions per minute. Okay, and it's a rotating part. As it's a rotating part, there will be wear and tears taking place, and there will be file errors or even bad sectors on the physical disk. Okay, so it's a rotating one, right? So as it's a rotating one, there will be some file errors or some bad sectors, and we'll be facing some issues with the physical disk also. Okay, because of some power surges, bumping or dropping the PC, even these can cause errors as well. Okay, we cannot realize that we cannot realize that there is a problem with the hard disk until we run the check disk on our hard drive. Okay, so until and unless we done the check disk, we cannot find that there is a problem with our hard drive. Okay, so how we gonna do check disk? See here. Okay, let's run. Now in this slide we're gonna learn. Let's run the check disk. Okay, now we're going to run the check disk. As I told you earlier, check disk is nothing but the chkdsk. Okay, so that there are two ways. There are two ways to run the chkdsk on your computer. One is the graphical, and other is of the command line version. Okay, I'm gonna give you the information on graphical version, how we gonna do check disk on a graphical version. Okay, it's nothing but it's very easy, we can all do it by our own. Okay, so once we should enter into the desktop, we should enter into our desktop. We can find out the start button, we should click on that, then we should click on the computer. And once you click on the computer, okay, you need to right click on the drive which you want to scan, okay. In most of the time, all our software and program files will be in the C, right? So maximum it will be in the C. We need to right click on that, and after right clicking on that, we will be finding an option called as properties. Okay, once you click on the start, then you need to click on the computer, and once you entered into the computer, you need to right click on the drive which you want to do the check disk. Okay, okay, so here I'm gonna do check disk for my C drive, because my operating systems, all my files, all my programs are in the C drive. So I wanna run check disk for my C drive. So at the C drive, I'm gonna right click on my mouse, and at the bottom there will be an option called as properties. I'm gonna click on that, then I can find an option called as tools. Okay, see, we're gonna see it in the next slide how it would be. See here. Okay, I want to run the check disk on my C drive, because all my files, all my operating system programs in the C drive. So here I'm going to click in the properties, and once I click on the properties, This window will be pop up, and here I'm going to click on the tools. And once you click on the tools, you can see the first option, right? Error checking. This option will check the drive for error, system error. Okay, so you need to click on the check, and once you click on the check, then it will start for checking for the errors. See, you can see, right, scanning. So this will be done. It will be checking for the errors. And see here, in the windows that appears, two options are available. See, okay, so once you have entered into the tool tab, you can see two options. Okay, one is the automatically fix file system errors checked by default, and the other is the scan for and attempt recovery of bad sectors. Okay, when you're doing it for the first time, no need to give checkbox for anything. Okay, you no need to give checkbox for automatically fix file system errors, and even for scan for and attempt recover of bad errors. Okay, you just leave those boxes unchecked and click start. Once you click on the start, then this window will be coming on the screen. Okay, it will scan for the errors on your hard drive, on your disk. So see, okay, for the first time, leave boxes unchecked and click start and wait for the report. Click on the details arrow to get the full report. Okay, so once you got the report, okay, you will be getting a short window as a report, and you will be finding an option called as details. So you need to click on the details to get the full report. Once you got the full report, if everything is good, no problem. Okay, if you did not got any error, that's fine. Okay, so there is nothing wrong with your hard drive. But if you find an any kind of errors after doing the check disk, okay, if you find any errors on your hard drive, see here, okay, if no errors are found, that's great. If however errors were discovered, then rerun the check disk with automatically fix file system check. Okay, so if you do not find any errors, that's great. But if you find out the errors, okay, we need to run the check disk again. You need to rerun the check disk. Okay, so you need to go back to the C drive. Again, you need to give the right click, then enter into the properties, then click on the tools, and after clicking on the tools, you need to click on the check. Okay, so once you click on the check, now you need to uh, checkbox the option. Okay, automatically fix file system errors check. Now you need to checkbox this. So once you checkbox this, okay, so the system will automatically find out the error, and automatically it fixes the file system which causes the errors. Okay, so what are the files, whatever the file system it may be, okay, whatever the file system it has the errors, okay, it will fix those errors automatically. See, this will cause CHKDSK to perform a sector by sector surface check of the hard disk, which will take some time. Okay, so as you are given the checkbox for automatically fix file system errors check, so it will take some time, because see, it will find out the errors, and then next automatically it will try to fix those errors by itself. So nothing you need to do, you need to just checkbox that, you need to sit in front of the desktop, and you need to run the check disk. Okay, so it will automatically find out the errors, and it will automatically uh, fix those errors. Okay, so this is going to take some time. You need to be with the patience. And if check disk finds a bad sector, it automatically attempts to recover any information stored in the sector, and it makes the sector as defective, so that no information can be stored there in the future. See, this is what gonna happen. Okay, you have given the checkbox for this, right? Automatically fix file system errors check. So as you have given the checkbox for automatically fix file system errors check, see what it's going to perform. If check disk finds a bad sector, it automatically attempts to recover any information stored in the sector. Okay, so it automatically attempts to recover any information that's stored in the sector, and it marks the sector as defective. Okay, and it marks the sector which has errors. Okay, it will mark that sector as a defective, so the no information can be stored in the future. Now done. Okay, so this is what we need to do with the hard drive. Okay, we need to find out whether it's in a good condition or not. The first thing is that, okay, if it's in a good condition, everything is not. If not, we need to run the check disk and we need to rerun the check disk again if you find any errors. And for the second time, you need to click on the automatically fix file system error set. Okay, you need to check box 6. Then the system is going to do everything for you. Okay, it will automatically fixes the file system and it's done. That's it. So it's done with the hard disk now. Now we're gonna see the overheat. Okay, and see here. One of the most common issues that causes a system instability is overheat. Okay, overheat may be also a problem for the system to get instability. Okay, it might be a freezing or it might be a rebooting. Okay, so to test, there are a lot of applications out there that would help you to monitor the temperature. Okay? To monitor the temperatures on your PC, there are a lot of applications available, right? Or we all know that there are fans that will be running in the PC or a desktop, right? Okay, so if the fan stops running, then our hard disk gets heating up. Okay, so if it gets heat up, then our system will automatically start rebooting by itself. Okay, so overheat is not at all good in your PC or your desktop. So we need to test. We need to test that. Okay, we need to test that whether there is an overheat or in our laptop or in our desktop. Okay, for this, how we can test this? Okay, we can test this by an application. Okay, we have n number of applications for testing the overheat on our laptop or desktop. Some of them are like, okay, speed fan, HW monitor, open hardware monitor. Okay, so these are the examples. These are the few examples which applications can test whether there is an overheat in your laptop or desktop or not. See, what this speed fan, HW monitor, open hardware monitor, what these applications are going to do? Okay, these applications are going to perform a programs, okay, that monitors the voltages, fan speeds, and temperatures in the computers with hardware monitor chips. These applications are the programs that monitor voltages. It monitors the voltage, it monitors the speed of the fan and temperature in the computer and hardware monitor chips. So once you run that application on your PC or desktop, you can know whether there is an overheat on your PC or desktop. Okay, so by that you can find whether there's an issue going on because of the overheat or not. So once you find the system instability is caused by overheating, see, look at this. Once you find that there's system instability is caused by overheating, then if we take desktop, remove the side panel and blow the desktop. Okay. So if you're using a desktop, with your CPU, right? So once if you find that the overheat is going on, then you need to remove the side panel of the CPU. You need to remove the side panel of the CPU and you need to blow the dust that which whatever it may be there in the CPU. And and you must make sure, okay, you must make sure that you remove the CPU fan and remove the dust as well. Once you need to remove the CPU fan and you need to clear all the dust and you need to re-put it back, okay. And you need to plug it back. You need to plug it back in the CPU and you need to remove all the dust. See here. Also replace the thermal paste. Make sure all the fans are working properly. If it's a laptop, then it's best to take it to your local PC repair shop. Okay, first let's discuss about the desktop. So if you find out that there is an overheat going on your desktop, okay, you need to remove the CPU side panel and you need to remove the CPU fans. You need to clean all the dust. Okay, you need to remove the dust, each and every dust particles. But you need to clean it up. You need to clean it up and you need to replace the CPU fan. Okay, and even you need to replace the thermal paste also. Replacing the thermal paste is very good. It makes your CPU fan to work in a good condition. Okay, and make sure all the fans are working properly. Okay, and we need to make sure that all the fans in the CPU are working properly so that the overheat may not be happen. And if it's a laptop, it's not good for us to open and it's not good for us to check it. Okay, we cannot open it and we cannot check whether there is a issue with the fan or not. Okay, we cannot clean it up. So it's better to take it to the local PC repair. So local PC repair. Okay, they will be handling it and they will be doing that by themselves. And now we're gonna discuss on BIOS. Okay? So BIOS is also one of the reasons that might cause your Windows to get freeze or rebooting. So why? How may it cause the issue to your Windows? Okay, so see, sometimes changing the settings in BIOS, like uh, overclocking the RAM or processor and cause instability for the system. Okay, sometimes we may change the settings of the BIOS. Okay, uh, by default the BIOS settings will be coming in a good condition. But what we will be doing, some of the people will be changing their BIOS settings. Okay, like overclocking. So what is meant by an overclocking? Overclocking means the setting your CPU and memory to run at speeds higher than their official speed guide. So it's just like we are giving an upgrade. Okay, so the default setting, manufacturer will giving some default settings. Okay, some default speed, but few people will be doing overclocking. In the sense, they will be setting their CPU and memory to run at speed higher than the official speed rate. They will be running it in a high speed. They will be running it in a high speed, which is not good for the BIOS. Okay, so in such cases, we need to reset the BIOS to default settings or reset it by removing CMOS for a minute and put it back. Okay, we need to change the BIOS settings to the default settings so that we might not be facing any issue and everything will be running well. Okay, and even we can remove the CMOS battery for a minute and we can put it back. And we need to make sure that the BIOS firmware is up to date. Okay, we need to make sure that BIOS firmware is up to date. Okay, see, if BIOS firmware is not up to date, okay, we cannot be rebooting our PC, or we cannot be. So the booting process might take time, might take too much of time, okay, to boot up the system if the BIOS firmware is not up to date. And next, power supply. We need to make sure that our PC is running in a good power supply. Okay, we need to make sure that we have the power source unit, enough power source unit, okay, enough power source unit to run our PC in a good condition. You need to make sure that's okay. So if you have the any slidings in the power supply, or if you do not have the power supply unit to run the PC, okay, then there might be a reasons like these might be a reasons to run your PC getting freeze or rebooting. Look here. Sometimes you might have a great system with latest board, processor, GPU, RAM, etc. Okay. You might have each and everything good with the system, but have a good GPU, you might have a good processor, RAM, latest motherboard, everything. Okay. You might have everything. The problem may be with the PSU. Most of us doesn't know that this might be the problem. This might be the problem for getting freezing or rebooting. Okay. So we will think that we have the latest motherboard, we have the good processor, we have the GPU, RAM, each and everything is a good condition. But we will not check with the power supply. Okay, even we need to check with the power supply. So we need to find whether these may be causing you the issue. You need to find out that. See, and but to handle those, okay, to handle all these units on the CPU, motherboard, processor, GPU, and RAM. Your PSU may not be powerful enough. That's the point. Okay, your power source unit may not be powerful enough. Make sure you get one that can handle your hardware. Okay, we need to make sure that our power supply unit is capable of handling all this. Is capable of handling our CPU. It's capable of handling our system. Okay, we need to make sure that PSU is capable enough of handling all this hardware. Okay, and also PSU failure can cause the system to act weird. Unfortunately, there is no easy way to test it. Yeah, that's correct, right? Okay, so it's not that easy to test whether there is a problem with the PSU or not. Okay, so if there is a problem with the PSU, then our system will start acting weird and it will be annoying for us, right? So, but sometimes you can hear loud noises from SMPS that would help you figure out it's the PSU that causing the problem. Okay, so sometimes SMP is gonna help you in find out whether it's the issue with the PSU or not. Okay, you will be able to hear the loud noises from SMPs. You will be able to hear the loud noises from SMPS, and this would help out you to find out that PSU is causing you the problem. And graphic card. Even the graphic card may also be a reason for Windows to get freezing or rebooting. Okay, so sometimes a graphic processing unit, GPU. GPU is nothing but it's a graphics processing unit. Okay, can cause system instability. Even the graphic processing unit may also cause the system instability. You need to check for the drivers. Okay, you need to check whether the graphic drivers are up to date or not. And see, or maybe overheating of the graphic or incorrect clock settings are the main causes. Okay, incorrect clock settings. So we should not make any changes in the graphic card settings. Okay, we should keep it by default setting. We should keep that to the by default setting so that we might not be facing any issues. So graphic card is a delicate, one of the delicate in our desktop or laptops. Okay, so we should not make any incorrect clock settings that will cause our system to act weird and will make us to face issues on our laptop or desktop. So it's better not to keep any incorrect clock settings on the graphic card. Okay, in such cases there are a lot of stress and test software which you could run to check the system stability of your GPU like Farmark, etc. Okay, Farmark is one of the software that tests your GPU whether it's in a good stable condition or not. Also, a bad driver can also cause the problem. So we need to update our drivers regularly on the regular basis. Okay, we need to update our graphic card drivers on the regular basis. And also, it might be a good idea to reinstall the drivers. Okay, sometimes our drivers may be up to date. Our drivers may be up to date, but still we might be facing the issue. Okay, so it's better. So there might be some error, maybe error. There might be some error which was during the installation of the drivers. Okay, or maybe the drivers have not been installed properly. So we need to reinstall the drivers. So it's better to reinstall the drivers in such cases. Okay, and also when you overclock is nothing but the technique. It's a technique used to speed up your computer components like motherboard, CPU, memory, graphic card, and other internal hardware. Okay, even we have discussed this overclock in the BIOS also, right? See, BIOS overclock, setting your CPU and memory to run at speeds higher than their official speed grade. It's the same thing over here. It's a technique used to speed up your computer's components, motherboard, CPU, memory, graphic card, and other internal hardware on your GPU. Okay, so we should not keep it on overclock. The next external devices. Okay, we might all be doing all the. We might be checking our hard drive. We might be checking our BIOS. We might be checking our graphic card. Okay, but we may not. Okay, we may not check with the external device. Okay, sometimes even the external devices cause your PC to get freezing or rebooting and your PC starts acting as weird. Okay, sometimes it may happen. So we need to check with our external device also. So what are the cables that might be connected to your laptop? So that might be connected to your PC or desktop. Okay, so it might be the external device, maybe the USB, it may be the mouse, it may be the keyboard. We need to check that. So sometimes a faulty external device like a USB camera, mouse, keyboard, controls, etc. can cause random reboots. Okay, we need to check with that also. It's best to disconnect all the USB devices and see if that fixes the problem. So if you are facing a problem like freezing or rebooting, okay, it's a simple way, right? You need to just unplug it and you check. So first you need to do this if there are any external devices that are connected to your PC or desktop. Okay, so you need to unplug them. You need to disconnect the USB devices and you need to check. Okay, this might fix the problem or not. If this fixes the problem, then it's easy, right? Then you need to know. Then you guys need to check with the hard drive, with the BIOS, and with the graphic card, with the power supply. You need not to check with all those things. And Also, it's best to see if you can borrow a keyboard and mouse and see if that makes any difference. So you might be having your colleague behind you, or you might be having your friend beside you. Okay, then you ask keyboard and mouse, you check by connecting the keyboard and mouse if you are still facing the issue or not. So these are the steps you can do with the external devices. So thank you guys, thank you for watching this PPT. So if you have any queries, you can get back to me with my email ID. Okay, you all can see my email ID over there. It's raj823sh472 at gmail.com. And even you guys